Welcome to Beachside Bros. I'm Ken.
I'm Damon.
And today we're going to be doing bison burger with bourbon caramelized onions and truffle fries. Going to be an awesome day. We're going to be combining some burger, 80-20 burger with some super lean bison. We're going to be grilling them up on our Weber gas grill. We're going to be then caramelizing in a cast iron skillet some sweet Vidalia onions. And then we're going to be frying up some truffle fries, also known as
Pommes frites.
Mr. Wiki. So we're going to be doing all that. We've got truffle oil. We're going to be chopping up some parsley. It's going to be a day. This is the second part, by the way, of 2 episodes that we're doing all at one time, which is why you see all this stuff. We're also doing, if you're doing it out of order, we're doing smoked chicken wings, flash fried with...
You know what it is, man.
Onion rings.
Come on.
Anyway, stay with us. Burgers, pommes frites, caramelized onions, gonna be great. All right, so today we're having bison burgers with bourbon caramelized onions and truffle fries. I've got a pound of bison right here, ground bison. Bison is super lean. I forgot what the package said on it. I think this is 90-10. Most of the time when you're doing burgers, you want 80-20 because it's that fat's gonna start cooking. It's gonna make that burger super juicy, and that's what you want. You don't want a dried out, gnarly burger. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna kind of break this bison up a little bit, and you can see just by looking in here how lean that is. There's not a lot of fat, and this is 80-20, another pound of 80-20. We're not going to combine this and mash it super hard. You want a little pockets of goodness in there. Let's get this guy out of the way. And that's gonna let that meat breathe and that fat move through the bison and really flavor the hamburger all the way around. Again, we're doing 2 pounds, so we're gonna have probably 8 burgers. 6-ish, 8-ish burgers, depending on how big I decide to make them. You don't want to be skimping. I know everybody wants a 1/4 pound burger and they think that's super big. Not really. It's not that big. Especially when you're grilling, you want a nice plump burger. So I'm going to try to eyeball these guys into little balls here and kind of see what I've got. And then we'll adjust accordingly. Just, again, I don't want small burgers. I don't particularly like small burgers. I'm just trying to make sure they're all about the same size. And if we end up with kind of Bronto burgers, then all the better. Everyone will be happy. Again, we're not really doing a lot of formulating and mashing on these guys. You really want to make sure that, get a little plate over here, that you got plenty of room for the meat, so to speak, to breathe while it's cooking. So these are about the same size. And again, by making them into balls and kind of just not overworking them, they're going to come together real nicely for you on the grill. We're going to be grilling them. I'm going to do a little experiment. I've got a fajita griddle. I'm going to do a couple of these on the grill, and then a couple of these on a cast iron skillet, just to kind of see the difference, see what we got. He's a little bit bigger than the other guys, so let's give that guy there. You want them all to be about the same size. Why? So they all cook at the same time, right? And I'm not overworking these guys. All right, let's get this out of the way. And we're going to top these guys real simply. Get a little crust on them. We're going to hit with a little bit of salt and pepper, and that is it. We'll re-salt and pepper each side when we're on the grill and on the skillet. And again, I've said it a million times, I don't do a whole heap of salt. You mean you really want to see these in the camera? And this is just regular old kosher salt. Nothing special, no fleur-de-lis sea salt. And I don't want them super salty, just enough to kind of give them a nice crusty topping. Okay, that's it. We'll be back in just a few minutes. We're making our truffle fries. We have a mandolin here. You can get them. There's all kinds. There's handheld mandolins. There's a box mandolin like this. And then I think your food processors will also do them. Always recommend that you use the safety device. So we're gonna, I have no idea how this is gonna go. You can see, and again, it's got these little spiky things in there that holds it. Let's see what we got here. Hey, we got French fries. All right, I am gonna pull these off of here and drop them in this bowl right here off to the side. I like this size French fry. You can see that it's super smooth French fry. It's nice and long. I don't like little small things. You can take this end, and I wouldn't recommend running this through on your hand. On that, that's gonna cause bloody caramelized French fries. We don't want that. You could just take a knife, slice it up. We're gonna not do that. I'm gonna do one more with the mandolin. And here's how you actually do it. Let me move this off to the side here just so you can see. You just basically squeeze down like that. Bring your box mandolin here, hold it straight, and just run it straight through. I'm gonna put these in a bowl and I'm gonna hold them in water. And that's gonna keep that starch. You can kind of mash it down. So you use as much of the potato as you can. This is a russet, by the way, a russet potato. And I think we have got about everything we can out of this guy. Let's just not deal with that so we don't lose any digits. And what you want to do is once you've got these guys done, you want to take them so they don't start turning yellow. I'm going to run some water on these guys, cold water. That's going to keep them from turning brown. It's also going to get the starch off of them. And you can see that's not dirt or anything. That's actually starch that's turning the water white. So I'm going to finish this last guy up. We'll have our potatoes done and we'll get frying. One of the things that we wanted to do was make a special aioli to go on our burgers, on our buns. And special aioli, fancy word, mayonnaise. So we're going to cheat. We're not going to make the aioli from scratch. Maybe we'll do that one time. But today we're just going to cheat. We're going to use Duke's mayonnaise and some roasted garlic, which is fantastic. I probably should have pulled that thing off pre-production. Mr. Wiki?
Remember my first time making this recipe?
That's good stuff. Got the tang, like they say. So we're going to throw in a couple big dollops of Duke's mayonnaise. So, big dollop of mayonnaise, and then we've got this roasted garlic, which is been smoked and roasted, and it is super soft. And
how long did you leave it on, Ken?
About 45 minutes to an hour. And I would normally squeeze it, but it's hot AF, so I'm just going to squeeze with this guy. And we're going to get as much out of here as we can. And it makes it, the garlic, when it comes out and it's roasted and smoked like this, without the paper, it is nutty. It takes that bite out of it. And let me tell you, that's not...
It smells great. It smells fantastic right now.
That is not cool. It's warm on the fingers. So we took that whole clove in here. You can kind of see it, hot. And we're going to just whip it up in here, smush it with this mayonnaise. We could probably even use that other clove if we wanted to. We're going to test it first. And then all we're going to do is add a little bit of salt and pepper to this. And this should be plenty good. Maybe a little Worcestershire if we find out that it's not quite as smoky. But I think between the smoke that was on with the chicken wings, like we said, we're doing 2 episodes in one today. Salt, pepper, this should be super good. And give our burgers with the caramelized onions a nice little offset to what's going on there. So again, get our napkin here. A little bit of salt. Again, not a lot. I don't like a lot of salt.
Ken's different than me. I love salt. You'll see when I make my onion ring, I'm gonna put a lot of salt on them. So
Blown up like
not good for you, but I love it.
Mr. Michelin Man, and I'll be limping around. Not good. But garlic, great anti-inflammatory. All right, I think we're good. We're gonna go get our burgers on here in just a few minutes. And here, let's get a little sample. See what we got here.
Do you wash your hands, Ken?
I did. Dude.
Don't believe it. You good?
No, you haven't.
No, I haven't, yeah.
No.
Not touching it.
You know, I think I might need a little more garlic, actually. I'm going to squeeze the rest of this guy in here. I was thinking about saving it.
You put any lemon in your aioli?
Probably should.
Yeah.
Hit the fridge there, Damon. We'll put some lemon in there. I think I got one. I got one already cut. I can just squeeze. Yeah, I think I needed the extra roasted garlic.
Yeah. Do you have a little contraption that catches the seed? Do you have a little contraption that catches the seeds, or we gotta use the hands again, like episode 1?
And I'll do it for you.
Yeah, hands are dirty.
Again, it's not a restaurant, so if we get a little bit of dirt in there, it's just us eating it. A little bit of, there we go. And you know what would almost be good in here as well? A little bit of parsley. A little bit of parsley would be great. Mash that garlic up. That's a lot better.
Yeah.
Wash your hands and taste that. That's freaking awesome. Or yeah, you can just use the...
Not putting it back in there.
Stab it.
It was good.
Awesome. Yeah,
That's
the lemon juice made it. I'll probably put some parsley in there, chop it up. You'll see that at the end. That's freaking awesome. It kills.
Yeah.
So we are ready to caramelize our onions. And what we're going to do, these are bourbon caramelized onions. The bourbon goes in at the very end. So we're going to put a little bit of olive oil in here. About a tablespoon and a half, 2 tablespoons. These guys are going to cook down. And the other thing we're going to put in here is a nice big pat of butter. That's going to help keep the oil from burning. And then we have 2 large onions, sweet onions, Vidalia onions, Inca onions, and we're going to caramelize them. The key to caramelizing onions is you go slow. You have to go slow. And we're doing it on the grill because again, the whole point of beachside bros is to get you outside and get you outside grilling and cooking. And you can do everything that you can do inside, you can do outside. This is a giant oven, but it also gives you flavor from everything that you cook that's on it. So we're going to let these onions reduce in that oil and butter, and we're going to do it slowly. And what you're going to end up with is a super brown onion, crispy in some parts and then sweet in others. And the good thing about caramelized onions is they keep for weeks, if not months, in the back of the refrigerator. They don't go bad. So we're going to let these guys go. I'll be stirring them. At some point we're going to be putting in bourbon, salt, pepper, and a little bit of Worcestershire. And that's it. They are simple, easy. You just got to let the grill and the onions and the cast iron skillet do the work. So we're getting ready to drop our French fries for our Bison Burgers and Truffle Fries. We're going to do these in a couple batches. So I don't want to drop the temperature of the grease. Dane,
I got you,
just,
man.
Load that.
Yep.
And you can see this is again from the mandolin. So we don't want to overload the fryer. We're going to do about half of these guys. You can see we've still got about half load. I'm going to drop these in. The fryer is at 375. Do these low and slow. Get these guys in here. You don't want them. We've had them sitting out in this bowl for a good 10 minutes. You don't want to put water in grease. Bad. It's going to come flying over the side. So Dame's going to drop the lid. We're going to put these in here for about 7-8 minutes. We want them crispy, golden brown. We're also going to be using the same oil for onion rings for episode 2. We're a little bit ahead of the time. So we want to make sure that that oil is clean as it can be. And we'll be back in a second. We still got that many more to fry.
It already smells great.
Yeah. These are our caramelized onions. They are looking perfect. We got some brown bits in here. And the last thing that we want to add in here is a little bit of Evan Williams Bottled and Bond. Should put my finger up here. Bottled and Bond. It's 100 proof bourbon. And we want to add on that sweetness. And this is about 2 ounces, 2-3 ounces. Personally, I don't think it really matters. The alcohol is going to burn off quickly, especially in this oven or this grill. It has been running about 300 degrees in a cast iron skillet. So I'm not really worried about the alcohol. All I really want is that bourbon sweetness in these onions. Let's give them a little stir. And then let that extra sugar, so we got Vidalia onions, and now we are compounding that with bourbon sweetness. And let me tell you, this grill is hot. We're going to be doing our Bison Burgers on these guys, and you want to let that caramelization happen here. So if the onions aren't touching the heat, they're not going to caramelize. So you really want that. The cast iron skillet is the way to go. If you don't have a cast iron skillet, what do you do? If you don't have a grill, what do? You're going to do this on your oven top. You can do the same thing. Just cut those onions, a little bit of butter, a little bit of olive oil. Take your time, medium to low heat. Let that onion start to cook. And at the very end, you're going to put just a little bit of bourbon in there. You can add Worcestershire, salt and pepper, whatever your flavor profile you want, you can get that. But that sweetness of the onion, that's what you want. You can do every bit of this, everything that we're doing, you can do in your kitchen. This is an oven without the smoke, but you can do it right on your stovetop. Gas, electric, doesn't matter, in your oven, you can do it. A little bit of patience and play with the ingredients. You can make it happen. Okay, so our burgers are done. We put the aioli, roasted garlic aioli on our buns, and you can see, look at that. That is just beautiful. We are just turning these guys. Wanted to make sure they're done, toasted. Make sure we have bun integrity. Bun integrity is key. This guy needs a little bit more time to swap him out. But you want to have a toasted bun with a burger, and that roasted garlic aioli is going to be great. Air conditioner started, so let's start. All right, so we are doing our last little bit with our burgers, which is truffle fries. So I am going to just put a little bit of truffle oil around the outside edge of the bowl, and then shake that up.
How much truffle oil did you put, Ken?
Maybe a teaspoon.
And you don't need a lot. That stuff is very strong. Very delicious, but very strong.
Maybe a teaspoon. Now I'm going to use a little bit of Parmesan. This is actually North American Parmesan because B-side bros are cheap.
That's a fair statement.
And we're using just a, let's do it like this. Trying to do it on the edge.
Not paying for that. We're not paying for that plane ticket from Italy.
No, no. Trader Joe's.
Mm-hmm.
And then lastly, we're doing a little bit of parsley.
I can smell that truffle coming off there.
And again, one last shake. I didn't even put it down. They're big boys.
That's so good.
Oh, they're great.
So good.
They're so good. Again, we cut these, hand cut these with a mandolin. They're fantastic. And this is white truffle oil, just so you can see. And I'll be honest with you, I did a little wiki, and the black truffle oil said it had a little sulfur, and I don't want sulfur. So we've got onions and garlic and all this cooked stuff, so didn't want that. So we went with a little peppery white truffle oil.
And it's delicious.
Yep. So we are ready to go with our hamburgers. This is the guy that was cooked in the skillet. This is the guy that was cooked on the grill. And we're gonna try and see if we can tell the difference. We're gonna go ahead and load up our burgers. These are brioche buns that were toasted, and we're just gonna hit them again with a little bit more of that garlic aioli mayo, roasted garlic aioli mayo. Don't need a lot because it was already, that's what we used to toast.
It smells great. I mean,
the dog is like going berserk.
yeah. Drip wants some. He's not getting any.
So make sure I got the loaded end, bottom end. I seem to have a, yeah, there we go. This guy. So should have put a little bit of lettuce in there. I'll do that right now on the bottom. We'll make some corrective actions. It's been a long day.
But it's been a good day.
Been a good day.
Except for the Jaguars losing, but we expected that, so it really didn't impact anything we did today.
No, not at all. We're gonna put a little bit of tomato on there. This guy, a little bit of our bourbon, caramelized onions. Let's top this guy off. Give him a squeeze. Give him a squeeze. I want to rip this little piece of.
Perfect.
And we'll do one slice of each.
I'm excited. It's been a long day, but these burgers smell so good, so I think I'll be able to have another bite.
All right, this is the grilled dame.
All right, that's the skillet.
Yeah. I'm going to go in first for the grilled.
Cheers, man.
Cheers. You got the skillet.
A little bit of char on the outside. The onions, along with the
Onion is fantastic.
the aioli. The combination of everything together in the brioche bun. There's something about a brioche bun that just brings everything together.
Onion is fantastic.
So good. Well done, man.
A little bit of bourbon.
A little bourbon never hurt
You
anybody.
see we're still pink. All good.
Nice job, man. Like us, subscribe us.
Ring the bell.
Ring it. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We're Beachside Bros. We'll see you guys next time.